Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and start the combat here. And the first thing that we need to do is we're going to check all the defending units have to make a troop quality check to see how they react to having the enemy slam into them there. And basically they're going to roll the dice, and if they can get equal to or less than their troop quality rating, they're going to be fine. But if they roll higher, they take cohesion hits equal to the difference. So this one is a 7. And he rolled a 4, so he's going to be fine. And then this unit's quality rating is a 6. So we'll go ahead and roll for him there. And he rolled a 0, so he's going to be fine. And then we have another combat over here with a true quality rating of 7. And they rolled a 3. So none of the defenders take any cohesion hits for being initially slammed into. And we'll go back to this combat here on the left side. Okay, so now to actually resolve the combat, we need to find out which column we're on. And to do that, we go over to the weapons system chart here. And it's going to just be right here. We just got Hoplite against Hoplite, so we're going to be on column 7. And then we need to check superiority. So superiority is going to be if anyone's being attacked on the flank or the rear. That's not the case here. And then we go to the superiority chart, and again we've got Hoplite against Hoplite, so it's no superiority, so we don't have to worry about that. So we're on the 7 column. We do have a couple die roll modifiers though, because this Athenian unit was running. That gives them a +2, but we have to subtract the charisma rating of that Spartan leader over there. So the +2 run is kind of canceled out by the -2 of the charisma rating of that leader. So this is going to be just a straight up die roll on the 7 column. And we rolled a 6. And a 6 on the 7 column is a 2-2 result. So basically each side's going to take 2 cohesion hits. So that was kind of an equal exchange to start that one. And we go to this combat, everything's pretty much the same, except we have a number advantage here. The attacker has 2 counters and the defender only has 1. That's going to give him a 2 column shift to the right. So the superiority is all the same. We're on column 7, but because of that number advantage, they get to roll on the 9. And they rolled a 7 here. So let's see what that's going to be. That's going to be 2 cohesion hits for the attacker, 3 for the defender. So we're going to go ahead and we'll put 2. Well, the attacker can split theirs now, so the attacker is going to get to have 1 hit on each one. So that's going to be very helpful. And there's going to be 3 on the defender. So I need to grab a 3 here real quickly. All right, and then we just have one more combat to do here. Now in this case, they were running, so they're going to get +2 on the roll. And we're on the 7 column, and there's no other modifiers other than that. So they rolled a 6, and we get to add 2 to that to go to 9. So that was pretty solid. 2 for the attacker, 4 for the defender. So that strong Corinthian unit is already up to 4 cohesion hits. We'll put a 4 on there, and the attacking Athenians only get 2. And so right now, after that combat, nobody's cohesion hits is equal to their troop quality rating. So they're going to just kind of stay locked in combat. I'm going to put engaged markers on all the units that were actually in the combat. And after that, we're ready to move on to the next turn. All right, so it's the start of the next turn. And we're going to go to the initiative phase where we're going to roll off, and they get to add their initiative rating. Both of them are the same 2. So it's really just a roll off here for who gets to pick an activation marker and go. Now this is an extremely important role because you kind of want to be the attacker in these hoplite lines here. You get a little bit of advantage on the chart. And let's see, the Spartans are going to be the red dice. They rolled a 1 and the Athenians rolled a 0. So the Spartans get to go. All right, so there's no doubt that they're going to choose the Spartan activation marker, make that active. The hoplite marker, and they're going to advance. They're going to go ahead and move the rest of their line into combat here. And they're going to get a bunch of shock, no check markers. And we're going to have now, pretty much now, after that, we're going to put the shock no check markers on, but they'll pretty much the entire line is going to be in a battle now. So this is going to start to get pretty fun. All right, so this is what the line looks like after the combat that's taken place. So we got cohesion hits going on all over the place, and we even have a collapse step this time. We actually have a few units, including that one right there, that their number of cohesion hits is equal to their troop quality rating. And it's quite the advantage over here that the Spartans have, that the Athenian commander is actually not in the combat yet. So we'll see how this ends up playing out. But okay, so over here we have the collapse step. This guy's got cohesion hits greater than its troop quality rating, so he has to make a check. Because it's a phalanx unit, he's not going to automatically rout. He gets to make a die roll, and he has to add the difference here. So it's +1 to his die roll because he's 1 over his troop quality rating. And if the roll is greater than his rating, he's going to rout. And he rolled a 9, so he is definitely routing. What that means is we're going to remove the engaged marker, and he is going to rout back 2 hexes. And the attacker is going to automatically advance into his hex. And we're going to go on the line here. Now we have another one here where it's equal. It's 6 and 6. Now this Spartan unit was the attacker, so the attacker has to add +2 to its roll. Guess it's a little easier to rout here as the attacker, and he's routing. And so he's going to be, we're going to remove that marker, and he is going to be retreating 2 hexes, and the attacking unit is going to advance into his hex. All right, and then we have one more over here. This guy is equal, so he's going to make a roll, and he rolled a 1, and so he's fine. He actually gets to set his cohesion hits equal to 1 minus his troop quality rating, so that 6 is actually going to turn into a 5. So that's going to be good for him right there. And now he's going to keep the engaged marker. He's going to remain engaged to the enemy up there. And that is the way the board looks after that Spartan turn. We actually had a couple of phalanx units rout, and we'll I'll put some route markers on those ones that routed, and we'll move on to the next step. All right, so we're back, and the next activation marker that was drawn was actually the Athenian Hoplite. So that's pretty good for the Athenians. They definitely are looking forward to going here, and this commander here will actually be able to move and flank the Corinthian Hoplite right there. However, we got a unique opportunity. If you remember over here on this side, on the Spartan right, the Spartan commander actually won his combat and caused the Athenian phalanx to rout. And when that happens, you actually get to remove your engaged marker. You know, even though he advanced adjacent next to this one, he's not engaged right now. And that is going to give him a unique opportunity to do something called trump. He's going to try to steal the initiative, try to seize the day and steal that activation marker from the Athenians. And all he needs to do that is roll equal to or less than his initiative rating at 2. So he's going to roll the dice here, and if he can get a 0, 1, or 2, the Spartans get to go. Oh, and he got a 0. So the Spartans have seized the day. That was amazing. Okay, so that means the Spartans get to steal that activation marker. We're going to set the Athenian activation marker aside. The Spartans get to go again. So this would be a case where if anyone had moved, and maybe they're moving a second time, but it just so happens all of the Spartans are locked in combat. We also have another unique situation here in that he's adjacent to this Athenian Hoplite at the start here, but he didn't move into that front hex this turn, so he could actually do a pivot maneuver. So this Spartan unit can actually pivot like this, and that actually, normally most units would take a cohesion hit for doing so, but because this is an elite Spartan, it's got that red triangle there, no cohesion hit because they're an elite Spartan fighting force. So he will move like that, and then after that, all the rest of the Spartans are locked in combat. So we're going to go ahead and go through the combat die rolls and see what happens. Now, I should also point out that it was kind of neat to do this pivot wheeling maneuver there, but this still will not cause as an attack from a flank hex. The reason is because they would also be attacking from the front hex from there to there. So he doesn't get the flank. Now, if the board had looked like this, then he would get a flank attack, but nonetheless, he'll still pivot like that. And I'll run through this combat here, and I will show you what the board looks like when that is over. The Spartans have seized the day and are going to take advantage here.